I like your glasses, Kuro. I also like how stoic you are. Unmoved, unbothered.
Thank you. I didn't turn on my V2 Studios on my phone yet.
Cringe, but the glasses are there.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Hey guys!
Hey.
Welcome, guest 2, Sinister Sips, a dastardly debriefing where we spill the tea. We are the Vtuber villain group Hysteria, and we'll be your host this evening. Hello, my name is tempomaou. I'm a Demon Lord Vtuber that specializes in competitive games, but I like social games as well.
Hello, my name is corvuskuro. I'm a Crow VTuber, and I play a lot of Apex and League.
Hi, my name is anjuvalse. I mainly play FPS games. I was grinding a lot of Marvel, but recently I may have reinstalled Apex Legends.
I'm Hikaru. I stream mostly IDV and Limbiz company stuff, and I do a lot of other things too.
And with that, we'll get right into the first segment of today's episode, and that is highlight and lowlight of the week. So for my highlight, we are recording on Mother's Day, and I did go to lunch with my mom today. It was really nice. Got to see my family. The restaurant wasn't too packed, which is probably the best part, because on Mother's Day, everyone gets swamped. Everyone gets reservations out the ass. But today, pretty good day. In and out, no problems. Also had some good Mexican food, so very, very nice. Very chill in general. And then for low light, okay, I don't know when. I think it was a few nights ago, but I slept a little wrong, and now my neck just hurts like perma. I think it's because I put all the pressure on one spot when I sleep. So if I sleep one time wrong and all my pressure's on my neck, it's just done for the entire week.
Yeah, it's chalk. I
Getting
know what you mean.
Yeah, I'm getting too
man.
old. Yeah. And I don't really know how to fix that. Other than like maybe get a second pillow, or maybe my first pillow is just bad. Some way to like alleviate the pressure. I don't know.
Yeah, you need to get a different pillow.
Yeah, I have like 7 different pillows. I'm not gonna lie.
7? Wait,
Dang,
not on a
Jesus
stack.
Christ.
You have 7 that you cycle, right?
Yeah, like cycle, like whichever one is comfortable today. Just maybe it's a combination of 2 sometimes.
Oh wow, I've never heard anyone actually have
Yeah.
that set up.
Yeah, I think my highlight this week is definitely coming back from vacation. I was gone for like 8-9 days, and I didn't have my PC.
Mm.
I didn't have any mobile games. It would just be hanging out with family. I mean, that's wholesome and all, but no games is kind of a struggle.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I'm back, you know, day 2, I had the D&D session, and dude, it was so fun. I love D&D so much.
Yeah, D&D
Like-
was a highlight this week. That was a really fun session.
yeah.
That was my
The-
highlight. You're stealing it. You
Oh,
can't.
You can't.
Yoink.
That's a shared
Do that.
experience.
Yoink.
Yoink.
Yeah, and then low light. I don't know if I have a low light, honestly. I think my low light is just ruining my sleep schedule. Like, I had such a good sleep schedule during my vacation. I'm so serious. Don't laugh. I'm so serious right now. Like, I wake up at like 8 a.m., get a nice like afternoon nap, and then I sleep at like 10 p.m. That was my peak schedule, like, ever.
That is a really good
In,
sleep schedule.
like since January of this year. And then I come back the second day, I'm sleeping at like 3 a.m., waking up at like 1 p.m. And today I woke up at like 7 p.m. So, you know, it's chalked.
yeah,
Yesterday, I stayed up for 36 hours trying to fix my schedule.
Only to make it worse.
I actually want to
Keep telling
count
me that.
by the end of the like podcasts that we do, how many podcasts Kuro has his low light as he ruined his sleep schedule. Because I think that's 2 or 3 now.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
My low light of the week is I reinstalled Apex. I relapsed, guys. I fallen.
What were all those interventions for? You're back into Apex?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Listen. Okay, so the reason why is one day I was just vibing and I was like, "Hey, Car, what you doing?" And he was like, "I'm with Kuro talking about D&D, right?" So I was like, "Okay, sure. Like, you mind if I join?" And he's like, "No, come in here." So I joined the VC, and we're talking about D&D, and then other people start joining the VC, right? And then
No, it's
slowly-
Kuro's fault.
Hey,
and
on,
then
let him finish.
Slowly, people started saying, "Hey, you wanna play Apex?" And I'm like, "Oh, I mean, I guess they're gonna play Apex or something." And then we keep talking about D&D, but then more people show up, and then they convince Kuro to hop on Apex. So he starts playing Apex, and it's just me and Hikaru talking. And then I see one of Kuro's friends, which I also know, which is Yuri. They usually play, but this time they weren't doing any comms. Like, they weren't talking in voice chat. So I'm like, you know what? You know what would be funny if I do the comms for them, right? Like, I do like, yeah, the guy's track push him or something like that. So
Yeah.
it was Kuro, Yoso, and me doing comms for Yuri while Yuri was playing. And you know what? It was fun. I'll admit it. It was
That
kinda
sounds
funny.
like a good time. Like live commentating while spectating.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
that's
watching
fun.
because Yuri was sharing screen, so I was just like making comments for Yuri, and I enjoyed it. I was like, damn, wait, what if instead of just me being the one doing the talking, I was actually the one doing the playing, you know? So I was like, maybe I would have a good time, maybe. So yeah, fuck.
This slippery
That's how they
slope.
got. That's how they get you.
Yeah, peer pressured
Disaster.
Kuro, and then peer pressured you by association.
Yeah, pretty much. And then I guess my highlight. Oh, my highlight. After 3 years of being in the Apex scene and sharing my space with a lot of people who I haven't played with, I finally get to play Apex with Kuro, which has not
Word.
happened up until this point.
Wow.
It hasn't
So
happened yet,
crazy.
but it'll happen very soon.
Yep. Not
Yeah,
yet
it's
as of
crazy.
recording, but very momentous.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm your highlight, flirt.
Yeah, you are.
My highlight of the week. I was gonna say D&D, but Crow stole it. That was honestly like some of the most fun I had. I think like that is the most fun thing that I look forward to in the week. Hanging out with you guys and Zoe.
hmm
If I can pick that, I would say that I got into I don't know if it's like a partnership or something with NetEase. Like I don't know if I mentioned that yet, but I get to make content for them for money.
Sheesh.
Yippee!
Woo.
Let's
It's a
go.
lot of money. Yippee!
Let's
Yippee.
go.
Let's go.
Starving creators, please
Mhm.
feed us. And then low light of the week, Andre got back into Apex. That was
Aw.
Hey, arguably my highlight.
It was a disaster. I watched it happen in real time.
Yeah, you did. You were there.
Car crash happening in slow motion. I could hear it in your voice.
Fuck, this might be fun.
So moving on to the next topic for today's episode, we have things you would have liked to know when you started VTubing. So I will start a little bit of a piece of advice from my past self. So if I could go back in time and tell myself anything, I would say probably it's really important to branch out more. And this is two different ways. Branching out in terms of content, trying more things, maybe like breaking out of your comfort zone and trying to get into variety earlier. Because I like really hard mained a game for 4 years. And then the game went downhill. So a lot of my stuff also went downhill. Direct correlation. So I got into variety a little late. I wish I started it earlier because I've had a lot more fun with variety. I've met a lot more people. And that's a segue into the second way to branch out is I think I should have made connections earlier and meet more people earlier, because I think some of the most fun I've had VTubing and content creating has actually been in the past year and a half. Meeting new people, doing more projects, doing more collabs, of course meeting you guys and doing Hysteria stuff together has been like the highlight of my content creation career. Even though I had like a really good stride in the beginning, it was like uphill, downhill, uphill again, you know? And I think that might also be a good piece of advice is like ride those waves. Really ride the high highs and try to make the most of them. And don't get too discouraged when you're riding a low. Just try to think about the next thing that you can do to get to that next high.
It's really nice to have like people who are doing the same thing as you are and like relating to you, and when you have problems you can always go to someone else because maybe they've also encountered the same problem.
True.
Content creation is not a lonely road.
It doesn't have to be. I agree with that. There's like a sense of community or like camaraderie if you have just a couple other people to bounce ideas off of. And if you are going through a struggle, like you said, that they can, try to help you through it in case they relate and have been in the same position before. That's always nice.
Yeah.
I don't think you should do anything alone. I don't think you can. I think, especially in a social world, in a social media job or hobby, however you want to treat it, you have to be social in order to take full advantage of it.
For me, I think the one thing I would have really liked to know was what really like content creation was about when I started VTubing. I mean, I guess like in a sense, like back when I first started VTubing, I was just doing it for fun. I'm still doing it for fun, but I feel like I just didn't know what really content creation was. When I started VTubing, my goal was to have it so when I stream, there was people talking back to me, or like there's people engaging with my content as I'm playing the game. I think like that's the most fun for me when I'm streaming is like when I'm doing some silly thing and there's people in the chat saying, "Oh, do this, do that," in a friendly sense, not like those backseating kind of sense. But that was good. That's good. But also to grow that kind of community, it's not just about streaming. It's about branching out in the sense of using TikTok, using YouTube, using Twitter, using all sorts of different like social media and like showcasing yourself in a sense. I think that was something I would have liked to know when I first started VTubing. Like, how do I get to that goal? Oh, there's YouTube, there's TikTok. You can use these kind of, different social medias to garner your audience and stuff like that. And I feel like only like maybe a year or two ago is when I started realizing like how important that is.
Yeah.
So, now I'm pumping out shorts. I feel good about it. Some people are commenting. I don't care if his comments like, "Oh, you're shit. This aim is everybody else's aim. You're just a normal player." That's fine. That's fine. At least they're engaging with my content and things like that. I feel like, that's fun.
That's right. A comment helps the algorithm, even if it's a negative one.
Yeah, yoink. Rage bait.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be one way or another. Just keep in mind that these are like your experience for like what type of content that you want to have. Because like if we take, for example, our D&D content where we're just playing the game and having fun, like you can still have lots of fun, not interact with anyone at all, and it can still be a ton of fun and people still want to watch it. Like sometimes it's got to be fun for you, and as long as it is, it works out.
Touching a little bit on what you guys were saying earlier about it doesn't have to be a lonely road. I think a lot of people are a little worried or concerned about like reaching out to other content creators. And there's this like idea that bigger content creators are not gonna want to collaborate with you and stuff like that, which I'm pretty sure I have two people here that can talk about it a little better than I can. I wouldn't consider myself a big content creator, but from my experience, there's some really friendly people out there that will be open to hanging out with you or like planning content with you.
Like, my friend posted something about this earlier this week. It was like, I'm too big or for the small creators to feel comfortable around. I'm too small for big content creators to be a part of. And I'm too indie for like corporate VTubers to be assured of. Like, it was just like, if you're somewhere where I'm at right now, like who mainly doesn't do collab content, like kind of minds their own business, that just like stays in their own lane, I feel like there are smaller content creators who just feel uncomfortable around larger content creators. It's not like, I don't feel really paranoid about like people who are just mooching off me for clout, because like I know there's like a real worry of some people, like, are my relationships authentic or something. It's, for me, it's a lot less superficial than that. It's just like, I mean, I'm looking for it, and if it is, it is. If it's not, then like, oh well,
Yeah.
Content creation is more, it's not like, I guess it's competitive in some sense, but it's not like I'm worried about losing my viewers to someone else because I'm not as entertaining. Like, if I'm not as entertaining, that's kind of my fault. So
I think it ties into like confidence and insecurities a lot. If you are really confident with your content, then those shouldn't be like reasonable worries, but everyone kind of tackles it differently. I think that there is a culture where it is intimidating for smaller creators to reach up to bigger content creators, and vice versa. If a bigger content creator reaches down, then it's seen as like almost predatory, like they're also using them in some way. So it's kind of annoying having to constantly worry about that culture while trying to set up collabs either direction, because I can speak from personal experience. I do not care about numbers at all. I do not care about if people are mooching. I do not care about content leeches or anything like that. I'm just here to have a good time and vibe, and I will reach out to people that are 100 followers, 1,000 followers, 10,000 followers. I don't care. I don't even see the number when I invite them. Not everyone is like that. That's the thing, is I think this kind of differs from person to person. There are people that really want to stay in their own lane. They really want to use the tools that they have access to. They really want to use like other content creators to help them out. And it's like a mutually beneficial kind of like symbiotic relationship. And I think that's fine too. There's just like so many ways of going about it, and everyone is using these strategies like differently. Everyone's on their own road. So I think it's kind of more about, if you're on your road, you should invite people to also join you on your road. If they want to veer off, then they can veer off, is like how I'd like describe this analogy.
I guess on that, also never feel like you're entitled to someone's time.
I think that tends to happen quite often as well, because this is like not even a VTubing thing or a content creating thing. This is actually just like a relationship or friendship kind of thing. It needs proper communication. This is like a basic person to person human interaction where someone will be like content creating, they'll invite someone to collab like 2 or 3 times, and then that person gets like really entitled to person one's time, like, oh, we got to collab more, I thought you were my friend, you know, things like that. But it's just because boundaries weren't established, proper communication didn't happen, and then it goes down like a drama road, like later down the line, you know. And I think it's really important to establish that right at the get-go when you are doing collabs, when you're talking to someone. It's okay to be upfront with your intentions, be like, this is, you know, a 1 or 2 time thing, and then when you're done with the collab, be like, yeah, that was a lot of fun, we'll play again sometime. You know, and it's okay to keep it like that. And I think that needs to be done more often to avoid these kind of like tricky and sticky situations that people find themselves in.
Yeah,
for sure. I would say like that, just to add on to that a little bit, like just I've even been a little bit questioning myself as to I like to support smaller content creators by like rating into them. I stream literally every day, and I raid like a different channel almost every single day. And I've come across a lot of channels that were like, it's like they expected something out of me, or like it seemed like really unappreciative, or like really like they made it feel like I should have done something. And it was really, really awkward a couple of times.
Overall, I would say general advice, if you are a smaller content creator, definitely reach out and reach up anyways. The worst someone can tell you is no, or don't wall you.
I would definitely do like the 3 times rule for some people out there, especially like I know like you're really busy, I'm really busy. Sometimes I will like read the message and I'll forget to respond. It's not that like I didn't respond. Like I sometimes I like formulate the response in my head, or like I'm currently doing something and I'll just like read it really quick while I'm streaming or something. I'll get back to it later, but then I forget. So like if I don't respond twice, usually if I see it a second time and I still haven't responded, it's like, oh shoot, my bad. I should at least give you the common courtesy to respond, you know? And so I'll like curly respond. But if I don't respond a 3rd time, it means I don't want to hang out.
Yeah.
So that's usually like my standard for hanging out with others. Like if I reach out 3 times and we still aren't hanging out, there's ways to cue in, like to read these social cues. Like if I wanted to hang out with you and you wanted to hang out with me, but our schedules just aren't matching up, and you say like, hey, can we meet up at like, I don't know, 8 o'clock this day? And I say, oh no. But if I respond with like, does 10 o'clock on this day work? That like kind of shows you I do want to hang out, and it's just that our schedules aren't lined up.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
some compromise is necessary, and that's okay.
Yeah, but if I just say like nothing, or like one-word answers, or ghost like yes, no, not a good sign.
The thing that I wish I knew, some people treat Twitch like a dating app, which is very, very interesting. I, of course, am maybe one of those people, because I did meet Sayu through streaming, and yeah, but that was definitely a surprise for me.
But people treat Twitch as a dating app?
Why do you say it like that?
I love how Kuro acts surprised as if he doesn't treat League of Legends as a dating app.
Is
But
that
he
real?
is the date.
E-boy Kuro.
No, I'm not an e-boy.
Right. With your e-boy glasses right now?
Okay, so the things that come from it is, I guess you kind of shape the way you behave on stream around that. Here's the thing, right? Like, it's not a sign that you have over your head, or a tag that you place on yourself so people know that you're like looking for that type of thing. So I feel like sometimes these interactions aren't necessarily like the best. Like sometimes it gets a little awkward. You know, you want to like collaborate with people. You want to network, because you want that. You open yourself up to like interacting with other creators more in a more close space. Like for example, DMs. And if you meet with someone that views it as a like, yeah, I want to get to know people better because I want something else, then you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go and set up a collab with this person. But then that person doesn't see it the same way. It's like, oh, this is my chance to actually like slide into your DMs, and it's a little weird, you know. But it's not always a bad thing, because then maybe that person also is open to that type of thing. I guess the main thing is don't force it. Right now we're talking specifically between content creators, right? Like when it happens between streamers, but it also ties in with like the parasocial aspect of like viewers trying to like get closer to streamers or content creators that they like. Like, I don't know, they try to be their mod, or they're trying to like, you know, get them to talk about something more in a more private space when after they join their like Discord server or things like that.
Yeah, this
Or,
actually
like,
ties back
they're
into what
okay
I
with
said
it.
earlier. Like, you know, set boundaries, check intentions, you know.
Exactly.
Never assume
Yeah.
intentions of another person either. And this goes both ways, whether you are someone that's treating it socially or someone that's treating it like professionally, like it's your job. And there's also some overlap there. Just never assume intentions and always be, you know, forward with communication.
Enjoy the company that you get from other people.
So
Enjoy the time that you spend with them.
if you had to go back and tell your past self something, it would be aware of the dating culture that is part of Twitch and part of VTubing, but it's not the end all be all either.
Exactly. Do you have fun? At the end of the day, that's what matters. And be yourself, I guess.
I'll do you and have fun.
Because, okay.
I had to.
Say less.
That was W. That
Yeah,
was
yeah.
W. I had to.
Yeah, that was good. Because at the end of the day, I think sooner or later you're gonna end up being yourself on stream anyway, unless you're like really good at playing your character.
That's
I
another
was
really
not
good
one of
piece of
those.
advice, though. Be yourself. I like that.
Yeah, be yourself.
Yeah.
There's someone out there that's gonna enjoy you for who you are.
Yeah, I guess the biggest piece of advice I would give myself is just like, don't knock other cultures that you don't know about until you tried it. I think like this is right before I became a full-time VTuber, but it was when TikTok was taking off really hard. And my initial thoughts about TikTok were like, oh, it's that stupid dancing app where like people get all this fake news from, and it's like a lot of stupid memes and brain rot for kids. But it's like kind of the biggest place I've grown from
Mm-hmm.
after I kind of embraced the culture. And after like looking around on all different parts of the internet, like I feel like there's a lot of things that I'm more adverse to doing. And obviously there's like lines you still got to draw for yourself. But like if you think about it, there aren't too many that like your community kind of reflects the type of content that you make. And because like I don't do typically like 18 plus brain rot content, like a lot of my community isn't exactly like that. It's kind of turned into a little bit more now that I'm doing TikTok stuff. But I think that like right when TikTok was blowing up, there was like a big VTuber boom, right? When a lot of VTubers like started posting their stuff on TikTok. I was there for that time. But I was more adverse to posting my stuff there just because like I thought it was stupid. But you know, just because you think something is stupid doesn't mean that like obviously I was in the minority at that time, because there's millions and like billions of people out there who all love TikTok. And there's different communities for every little thing out there. Like for IDV, when I first started streaming that game, like if you look at the IDV category on Twitch, at most there's only ever like 200 people on there when I'm not streaming. But like I almost average like 120. When I first started streaming IDV on Twitch, like not a lot of people joined in. It was mostly like 50 to 100 people. But nowadays it's like 120 to 150 people, which is really nice. And they're people who haven't watched on Twitch before previously.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fact is there's a lot of people, like the community out there is so much broader, no matter like on the different social media platforms. Like YouTube, way more people than Twitch on average. TikTok, way more people than Twitch. The discoverability, like it's just so much better everywhere else that I wouldn't be locked into just what you see on Twitch, and I wouldn't get any preconceived notions without trying it yourself. Like obviously I would never do certain websites like
Okay, pause.
yeah, like I would never make the website name which shall not be spoken because that's just
Mhm.
not the kind of stuff that I want to do. But I feel like things that are popular that typically aren't that kind of things are always worth looking into, and it's best to hop on trends when they're like kind of hot on fire.
You just made me think of something that is kind of unrelated. A little bit. But now that you're talking about like different communities and stuff, another thing I guess that I would have liked to know is there's a lot of really, really cool people out there. When I mainly focused on just playing one game and making that one game my entire thing, you kind of like limit in a way the amount of people that you interact with. Not that that's a bad thing. There's a lot of wonderful people in all sorts of spaces that you can meet or run across and have the best times. But I don't know. Like if I had not decided to step away from Apex for a little bit, I wouldn't have met a lot of really cool people. And it made me realize very recently, actually, that there's a lot of really, really cool people out there. There's a lot of, I don't know, like for everything even. I thought, for example, my main language is Spanish. I decided to stream mainly in English because I thought that was like where the broader audience was. But I've met a lot of people that are in the VTubing scene that also speak Spanish, and I'm like very surprised by it. So I don't know. There's all sorts of cool people out there that you could run into if you just expand your horizons a little bit.
And if you are trying to become a VTuber seriously, because this is supposed to be like quote unquote advice for your past self, it's my number one thing: treat it seriously. Like VTubing, if you want to make it your job, you have to treat it like a job. Jobs are 9 to 5. Like most of the time, they're 9 to 5. If you're already big and you're already making it, like that's great for you. But if you're just starting out, or you're like someone my size, you have to work. Like work your butt off, no matter what. Like it's not all fun and games. You can't be playing Apex all day.
Yeah, you
have to-
can't.
Yeah.
Wow.
And VTubing is a lot of work. And like for people who are trying to get into VTubing, you just got to know it's not just about playing the game. Playing the game is maybe only a third of it. Most of the work is done behind the scenes in terms of planning, in terms of making the content, and started posting it, scheduling meetings, stuff like that. Like all that like now that I'm doing sponsorships and talking to a bunch of other people, like actually making the money is way more work. It's a lot more work, but it feels really fulfilling. So it's better than like my 9 to 5 I hate it here kind of job. So any day of the week I would still prefer doing this.
Because you have fun with us. Smile.
Of course.
Hey.
That makes me think about it as well. You know, I did say that you could find other people in other places, but I don't know. I shared the same space with Kuro and I never played with him.
And for the final segment of today's episode, we have reviewing low-rated or high-rated reviews. Just basically the most ridiculous reviews that are on Amazon and other store websites. I got this article from BuzzFeed, so you know it's quality. So we'll be taking turns reading a review. So I'll go first. This person who deducted a star from their review because the containers didn't come with a sandwich. So we have a 4-star review, good product. Verified purchase. Did not come with sandwiches like photos showed. Otherwise, good product. So they were expecting the sandwich in the package? In the container? Why would they assume that? Wouldn't the sandwich be rancid by the time it got there? That's crazy. 4 stars.
False advertisement.
Yeah, false advertisement, bro.
Where's my sandwich?
Did not come with sandwich. Next, class action lawsuit for false advertising.
Yeah, I reckon that the person who like sells this now has like a small like fine line that says does not come with a sandwich.
Yeah, right. They probably put like a little disclaimer on it.
Yeah, product does not come with food
with sandwich
shown in the image.
All right, Kuro, what's yours?
Mine is, what do you even call these things? A bidet scrubber or like a toilet
No,
bowl
it's
scrubber?
a toilet brush.
Oh, a
What the
toilet.
heck?
A toilet brush.
Mhm.
This person should just get a bidet and move on with their lives. Too much pain. Causes too much pain and agony. Don't know why it's so popular nowadays. I'm just going to use toilet paper.
That's crazy.
That is
And it's still just, and it's still 2 stars. It's not even 1 star. So like, it wasn't even that bad.
Why did he give it the 2nd star, you wonder? I mean, it must have worked,
Yeah.
even if it was painful.
It's too much pain. Meaning there's an adequate level of pain that they would be okay with.
I don't assume that picture was taken by the guy, right? This has to be like...
No, I don't think it
Doesn't
would be
even
that
look
white.
real.
Yeah, it wouldn't be
Yeah.
that white. This is probably like a placeholder image. I really want to see if he like included a picture with the review. Now that would go hard.
Okay, so this is kind of a story about like this. If I were to put a title on it, it would be "The Time I Got Booty Blasted." But
Wait.
so
This is a good story.
Actually, I don't know if this is like PG-13.
No,
or
this is
not, but
PG-13.
This
Yeah.
is probably okay. This is like exactly my type of humor. But so I own a bidet, right? And I highly encourage people to get bidets because they're really, really hygienic, really, really cool. And for those who don't know what it is, it's one of those toilets. They have it everywhere in Japan, by the way. In most places in Asia, it's a toilet that sprays your butt after you're done to clean it. So they use like a lot less toilet paper, and also like spraying water on your butt is better than just wiping it with a piece of paper. It just makes it cleaner in general. My bidet, it has a remote control on it, but most bidets don't have a remote. They have like the seat is built in with the controller attached to the seat. But since mine has a remote, I didn't realize at the time, but I pressed the button and the remote ran out of batteries right after I pressed the button. So I couldn't turn it off. And
Oh
I stuck
no!
on the toilet, getting blasted on high for like 5 minutes before I had to unplug it from the toilet. My butt was really clean though.
Upsides. Oh my
The
god.
opening line was interesting, Yukaro. I'll say that much.
Literally contact clickbait right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good anime title. I
might
feel like that's coming out next year. The time I got booty blasted.
That time Hikaru got booty blasted.
Yeah, new isekai just dropped.
Stanley Classic Lunchbox. Hammer Tone Green 5.5 something.
A quartz or something.
This person gave it 5 stars. Verified purchase. Fits a half gallon of milk perfectly. There's a picture of literally
They included one.
And what is that, Cholula? I drink a gallon of milk a day at work, protein, and wanted something to carry it in so that people don't laugh at me or berate me with nicknames like Milk Baby or Milk Boy. This lunchbox works perfectly for my uses and also comfortably fits around 3 to 4 small bottles of Cholula on top of it. I like to drink Cholula after the milk to reset my taste. What?
Whoa.
That's crazy.
Someone get this guy off the planet. That is psychotic, isn't it?
Yes, it is. What the fuck did I just read?
This guy's insane.
What?
The only good thing is he
mean-
gave it a 5 out of 5 stars at least.
Yep. And he has a lunchbox for his milk.
What is Cholula?
It's like a
What's like a hot
sauce.
sauce?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks like a Tabasco. It looks like just straight up hot sauce. So he drinks milk and then like takes a couple shots of hot sauce after.
Yep.
Is
If
it
you-
supposed to be the other way around?
Yeah,
Yeah. Kinda,
yeah.
It kinda is, yeah.
it's supposed to be because milk like diffuses the spice, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like if he wants it to be a little spicy after, I kind of don't like it if my mouth is like coated in milk. Like if you ever just drink the remainder of cereal milk.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, sometimes I need something to reset my taste buds, but I wouldn't use hot sauce. Number 5,
Mhm.
and this mom who kind of just reviewed her tall son, 3 stars. My over 6-foot teenage son can fit comfortably in this bed as long as he doesn't sit up. This is something he has learned the hard way, but I wasn't prepared to cut a hole in the ceiling. I did suggest he strap a pillow to his head. He would prefer the hole in the ceiling, though, as his room is directly under the kitchen, and he was hoping I would just drop his food directly into his mouth after negating the need for him to get his lazy backside up and walk up the stairs. He has created some kind of gaming troll cave underneath and has learned the hard way not to stand up straight when screaming at the player who just killed him. Mind you, I was hoping that the concussion might knock the power of articulate speech back on, but alas, this has not happened yet. Bro.
As
What?
reviewed by Kuro's mom. That's crazy.
I can imagine this person living under the kitchen though. Like, I feel like if I hit my head on something like a basement ceiling, I have like a finished basement, but like it's pretty tall. I could never hit. It's got to be at least like 10 feet.
Yeah, like
more
did they
than
get
that.
this guy like a bunk bed or something? How is he so close to the ceiling after sitting up? That's gotta
That's
be
what I'm
like a
thinking.
really raised bed of some kind.
They're
Is he
living in a
playing?
hobbit hole.
Yeah, I've seen like it says it's in the UK, and I know a lot of people in the UK live in lofts. So
Mm.
like they have the I had this in college, but it was like a bed and then there's a space under it for your desk.
Mm.
So he might be sleeping on that bed.
Yeah. Okay, that setup makes a little bit more sense. Poor guy
Yeah,
just
it
got
saves a lot of
roasted by his mom though the entire review.
Deserved.
She threw so many strays at him. This gal gets it. 1-star review. Value for money. Not as big as I thought, but I'm a female and have been lied to all my life about the size of stuff. Oh god.
What is the product?
I don't know.
Jesus.
I don't know. I don't think we'll ever know. That could be anything. That
Yeah,
could be a
just
bed. That could be a
like that.
table. It just was something that she got lied to about the size, but she says she's used to it. That's a crazy self-report.
One person found this helpful.
One person.
This reviewer, who may have taken the title of the movie a bit too literally, The Wolf of Wall Street. 1-star review, verified purchase. Beware, not a nature documentary. I figured with the title it was a documentary about how urbanization is affecting wildlife, but no, it's about some scumbag that does a bunch of drugs and has a boat. 534 people found this helpful.
And this surprise tooth by Stephanie, apparently you got this. 4 stars, verified purchase. Tooth in my bag. So the star anise is fine. The bag is heavy duty, but there was a tooth in my bag. So I appreciate you not charging extra for said tooth, but also tooth. What the fuck? So I took a star. I actually really like the tooth, but I feel like I have to ding you for quality control. Okay, that's insane.
This
That-
looks like the most jank tooth I've ever seen.
That is
Yeah,
disgusting.
that thing looks like a fossil, dude.
Yeah, that is
Wow.
weird. That is the most like reasonable reviewer I've ever seen. She's like, I mean, the tooth is kind of cool, but I gotta ding you for quality control. It's not supposed to
Yeah.
be there. That's -1 star. Where like I would get this and be freaked out. Like I would immediately
Same.
not even review, or I'd report it or something. 4 out of 5
Yeah,
stars for a free tooth is crazy.
Just putting it like in her hand too. Oh,
Yeah,
gross.
she does not care, bro. I don't know. She must be shipping that off to the tooth fairy that night. She's like, I'm at least gonna get a quarter out of it.
I don't know if that's been
Wait,
cleaned.
so they bought a bag, and inside the bag there was a star anise and a tooth.
Yes.
What is this star anise?
It's like a
idea.
spice. It's a
Oh,
it's like a
Oh,
spice
anise.
used for like.
ew! And the
anise food.
tooth was in that. This trash can that doubles as a relationship tester. It's got 2 stars. We've talked about this trash can in marriage counseling. We have had this trash can for almost a year and has worked as one would expect a trash can to, up until a couple months ago. I'm not sure what it is now possessing it, but the lid is stuck with a perpetual gap of about an inch. The insert also seems to have warped, and trash bags will not stay in place. This makes my husband crazier than me, leaving my closet light on all day. The odor trapping bag seems like a nice feature at first, but the receptacle it's housed in has become a difficult to clean collection point for tomato sauce and coffee grounds. Other than the thermostat, this trash can has been the biggest point of contention in our young marriage. All in all, it could be a great wedding present if the relationship has a solid foundation. There's nothing like a little mutual suffering to really drive growth. However, if the relationship has some weak points, you do better just hanging the bag off the pantry door.
So this trash can is ruining their marriage.
It sounds like it's just catching the strays and their marriage is the problem.
Insane.
Why don't they just get a new trash can?
2
They definitely should.
2 stars. And why are all these like random products getting an extra star for no reason? By all accounts, based on the description, shouldn't that be a 1-star rating?
But they're saying like it worked a month ago and the lid is stuck and the insert seems to have been warped. And the trash
Seemed to be fine until it wasn't.
Yeah, literally. Worked for a month and now it's a collection for tomato sauce and coffee grounds. That is disgusting though, in all fairness. This person stuck their frustration with a tube of glue into a poem. So they're getting creative on some of these reviews. 4
God.
stars. Not for jewelry. Okay, this is a poem by me. Everyone get your snaps ready. Not for jewelry. No, not one bit. It's so sticky and tacky. I almost threw a fit. I used this for boyfriend. His gaming headset broke. It then cured for 3 whole days. We really let it soak. Then his headset snapped. It literally broke in half. It seemingly made things worse. I struggled not to laugh. I tried to like this glue. I tried my very best. The only thing this worked for? It glued my laptop to my desk.
Okay.
Wait, that goes hard. Actually, Dr. Seuss.
I like
That was
it.
pretty
It
good.
was clever.
That is a clever poem. 4 out of 5 stars for that. Doesn't work for the headset, but definitely glued the laptop to the desk. Why 4 stars though?
Why
That
would
sounds like
you-
ass.
Yeah, why would you glue your laptop to the desk in the first place?
I think it was an accident if I had to guess.
Oh yeah.
I don't think that
Okay,
was
now
the
that I
intent.
read it, yeah.
Or 11. This reviewer genuinely went through something assembling a bed frame. 5-star review, by the way, for if I purchase. I aged 10 years building this bed. Don't get me wrong, this bed is amazing. The quality, the durability, the value for the money is definitely there and it looks great. I honestly can't recommend it enough. However, Unless you have the patience of a Buddhist monk and can harmonize yourself to a state of nirvana on command, please heavily consider buying this bed. Unless you have a team of 5 people and a donkey, it will take hours to build, and a sacrifice to the gods. Building this bed felt like a never-ending mushroom trip and was not unlike constructing the pyramids of Giza after a night of binge drinking at your best friend's bachelor party. Building this bed frame made me feel like Ashton Kutcher could emerge from my closet at any moment to punk me. After building this bed, I went from a tout, young, youthful, hopeful being to looking and feeling like Ed the Sock. All that being said, the instructions are very clear and easy to follow considering. And now that this bed is built, I shall spend the week recovering in it. Godspeed to you all.
It can't be that bad.
This guy is so passionate.
So many
Yeah.
mixed emotions.
Number 12. This special cat. This was posted by Baby Swirly. My cat is special. 3 stars.
Period.
Color gray. The product itself is fine and I assume works as it's assigned to if your cat actually gets in it. My cat is struggling with understanding how to use it, and after having it for over a month, still has not actually sat in it once. I tried putting food in it and catnip to encourage her, and she ended up underneath it instead of in it. She's special, if nothing else. It was at least worth some laughs.
The accompanying
That is
picture kills me.
insane. Yeah.
What is this thing supposed to be? Is it like a hammock?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, it's like a cat
Yeah.
bed or a cat hammock. She just gets under and then pushes her head up through it instead, using it like an umbrella.
Yeah, that's a
she,
funky cat.
she is.
All right, number 13. This air mattress might fool me too, under the right circumstances. I ordered this when I was drunk because I thought it was a giant ice cream sandwich. Okay, maybe a little bit.
Look at the 1 star. Beds should look like
1
beds.
star. Agreed. Dude, a giant ice cream sandwich would actually go so hard.
Yeah, it would.
Oh,
I wouldn't buy it off of
crazy.
Amazon though. You're like, it's gonna melt. Well, they put it in an ice pack, but still.
I thought you were actually entertaining the idea, but this guy was drunk.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like Hikaru isn't. This fart trapping beanbag would make a great gift for someone you hate. Lynn's 4-star review. It's a trap! Not only does this beanbag completely consume you and keep you stuck in comfortable bliss all day, but there was another consequence we encountered. This beanbag traps farts. My husband sits
my
here, farting for hours. That sounds like a him problem. The farts are absorbed into the beanbag and you don't smell them again until you later sit down on the beanbag and the fumes are released. Pros.
So nasty.
Super comfortable. Cons. Super comfortable traps farts. That
I
is
never
diabolical.
found beanbags comfortable.
Mm.
It's gross. It sounds like he pooped his pants. I mean, like,
That's
farts don't
what it
usually
sounds
linger
like.
for that much.
That's what it sounds like. I think he shit the beanbag, no?
Bro, the beans freaking store carbon or something.
Yeah.
Number 15. And this person took slugging to a whole nother level. 5-star review. Good lube. Double OK hand sign. It's lube, not much more to say. Sometimes I like covering my body in it and pretend to be a slug while sliding around in my bathroom. Guys, I think we found Diddy.
What?
The Diddy review goes crazy.
2018 Diddy review.
I can't.
Oh, flavor name tasteless.
Oh god, he tried it. He tasted it. Ew.
That's gross.
218 people found that helpful, by the way. That's a lot of slugs.
Number 16, and this happy birthday. Top reviews from other countries. Missing letter. Reviewed in the United Kingdom. Absolutely gutted.
No,
I've
say it with a
just
British
sat and
accent.
blown it.
Say it with a
I
British
can't do a
accent.
British
Do a
accent.
British
I can't
accent.
do
Do
a
a British accent. Do a British accent.
I can't.
Absolutely
I
gutted
Your A's are
requires
odds.
you. You have to.
Absolutely gutted.
Yes.
There you
do
go.
that!
Just
There
you
you
can
go.
do the whole thing.
Do it.
No, I don't want to do it.
Take it from me. I can't
Yeah,
do it.
you do it, and Anju gets the next one. I need to hear this.
I've just sat down, sat and blown up all the letters. to find that I can't do it. It's hard. How do people do this?
They're faking it.
They're making it for real.
I've just sat and blown up all the letters to find that the D is missing, but been replaced with an extra I. It's my daughter's birthday tomorrow, and now I won't be able to decorate it as planned. Not happy at all.
That was pretty good.
That was
I think it was
good.
like a little bit more Australian.
It was a
British.
little
Yeah, I
bit.
think I cooked it.
The devil's under desk treadmill. Folding treadmill under desk electric blah blah blah. Straight from heck, do not get. This treadmill was fine at the start, but one afternoon it just randomly connected to some conversation or device or portal in hell and I cannot disconnect it. There are no Bluetooth features in the machine. I've double and triple checked the owner's manual. It is possessed and talks to me of death as I'm trying to mind my own business taking care of my health. The company will not respond to my messages to even help with an exorcism. Do not get this machine. At best, it is a waste of money and a source of severe frustration. Probably, though, you are also inviting Satan himself into your cozy home. This is insane. And it's a video.
And finally, I think we've all been this person. 1 star. I don't remember buying this.
It sounds like Hikaru. What the heck?
That is a Hikaru.
I don't remember buying this.
That's actually the review I would leave too if I didn't remember buying it. This is I feel like I did this for Steam purchases before too.
I don't remember.
I don't remember purchasing this.
Yeah, give me a refund.
Why is this in my library?
And that's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. Where can we find each of us? You can find me on all socials at tempomaou.
You can find me at corvuskuro on every single website. Maybe not every single one.
Every single website? Interesting.
Pause.
I'll be looking at a couple.
You can find me as anjuvalse on Twitch and on Twitter.
You can find
Yeah,
me
that's-
at Hikaru Vtuber or Hikaru_kun on Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Bilibili, Twitter.
See you next time for another episode. Tell your friends and make sure to stop by for more topics and fun segments that you can engage with. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.